My next guest clearly does not get paid by the hour because she's coming off a first-round submission victory at UFC 269. It is Gillian Robertson back here on the program. Gillian, how's it going?
Feels great. Like you said, coming off a good win here and got that tap with 1 second left, so that feels even better.
Yeah, Saved by the Bell. Really like that victory. Before we talk about the performance itself, she missed weight ahead of the fight, and I know that's something, you're pretty big on it. Most fighters are, that you should make the weight you did. Did that give you even more confidence just knowing that she wasn't, there were some issues with her going into the fight?
I guess a little bit. I feel like it might have given her more confidence too. Her thinking she's coming in bigger, she's gonna have more, she's gonna be stronger. She didn't necessarily look like too drained out at weigh-ins. Like I don't feel like she really tried hard to make weight necessarily. Like I feel like her size wasn't she wasn't a lot larger than me. Had a couple inches in height, but that was about it. So I'm like, I don't see any reason why she couldn't have made weight. And as a fighter, it's like, obviously you have two jobs: to show up and make weight, and she couldn't do one of them. So it was, it's definitely, I don't see it as a good thing, but it's not necessarily a confidence booster for me either, though. I feel like just going into it, I don't. It's just extra money in my pocket. I guess that's the only way I look at it. I don't really care about her size. I'm like, I know generally in the 125 division, I am one of the smaller fighters. So like, majority of these girls are going to be bigger than me. Majority of them have like 5 or 10 pounds on me already, but that doesn't make them better than me. So it doesn't matter to me how much bigger you are. It's like I'm going to go in there and be able to do what I want to do.
Were you upset at all? Like, I don't think, other than when you're fighting, I don't think I've ever seen you like mad or angry or upset. Like when a fighter does that annoy you at all? Like, what was your reaction when that happened?
Like to me, it's like I said, all it is the extra money in my pocket. So literally, I'm sitting there at watching like MMA junkies posting every update on weigh-ins. I'm like refreshing the page, refreshing the page. I'm like, please don't make weight. Please don't make weight.
Yeah.
Weight, I got 30% of her purse for that.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. And how very Canadian of you to, keep your emotions in check. Anyway, so the win itself, very impressive. Did you know there was a second left on the clock? Like, were you aware of how close the bell was to ring in that for the end of the round?
I knew it was close, but I wasn't aware that it was that close. I didn't hear the 10-second bell go off at all, or the 10-second mark. So, as soon as I stepped up into mount, I heard my coach, Dean, he was like, 1 minute left. So at that 1 minute, I was like, I thought to myself, I'm like, 1 minute's enough time to TKO her. So I just started throwing as much as I could. I was like, maybe I could get the ref to stop this. And then about like a couple seconds later, I was like, okay, I don't think the ref's going to stop this from a TKO at the moment. So I got to watch and make sure I don't gas myself out. So I stopped throwing punches. I heard my coach, he's like, 30 seconds left. And I was like, oh my God, that's only 30 seconds? Like, it was the longest 30 seconds of my life.
Yeah.
And so hearing that, like, she was very aware of the armbar attempts that I was going for. So I didn't really want to commit to it until I heard him say 30 seconds left. Then I was like, all right, why not take a risk? Like, there's short time if I end up on bottom, whatever. So I kind of took a risk, went for the armbar. She obviously saw it, was able to defend, and then I was able to capitalize with my choke right after she got up.
Well, you probably didn't know there was a second left because you're getting poked in the eye. Has that ever happened to you in a fight before? That was crazy. And I'm glad Rogan noticed it on the broadcast too.
In a fight, no, that's the first time. I've definitely had things like that happen to me in training and things like that before. But a lot of people ask me too. They're like, "Aren't you mad about that?" And I'm like, I feel like it wasn't necessarily like her trying to be dirty or aggressive. It was her fight or flight kicking in, and she didn't know like a rear naked choke defense at that moment. So that was her defense. That was her trying to save herself, and it obviously didn't work, but
yeah, no, absolutely. Saying that, I know it was a first round finish, but was there anything about the fight that surprised you? Anything you weren't expecting from her?
I honestly, I feel like I expected her to have a more, I want to say she had power because she made my nose bleed definitely really fast, but I also expected her to be able to like back me up with her strikes more. I felt like I was definitely going to have more issues there, and she was also probably keeping her distance, which she was very well, which made my initial shots a lot harder because she wasn't committing to her striking as much, and it made it harder for me to get in on my shots because she was back so far. So I guess that was a shock. I expected her to be like walking forward, just bringing the firefight.
Interesting. So I'm sure, obviously, great win. You're going to enjoy yourself that night. And then I'm assuming you stuck around to watch the rest of the fights because your former teammate Amanda Nunes fought in the co-main event. I'm sure you saw that, right? The fight?
I actually didn't see the whole fight that night. We were out celebrating a little bit, so I saw obviously the highlights of it, and I was saying that, like, obviously Amanda is the greatest. She is what she is. But I always thought that Pena might have given her a little bit of issues just because of how scrappy she is. She's tough as anything, and, like, she just goes. So I feel like that can give any girl a problem. So I was definitely 100% shocked to see that result because I thought Pena was going to give her problems, but I didn't see her winning it.
Well, do you think as well, and there's not to take anything away from Pena by saying this, but do you feel like with Amanda getting COVID, like we've never really seen her gas out like that or kind of, sort of lose steam? I know Pena was teeing off on her, but there's some school of thought that thinks, maybe COVID did affect her in the fight in that second round.
And anything's a possibility, really, but it's also like when you're throwing everything at someone and they're still walking forward, it's like that's taking a lot of cardio and mentally, like that's a lot. Like Pena just kept on walking forward, was kept on pushing the pace, and she was taking Amanda's biggest shot. So I feel like that also it might have something to play with it.
And then, of course, the main event, Charles Oliveira getting the submission victory over Dustin Poirier. Your reaction to that? Because Dustin, I think, was the betting favorite going in.
Honestly, I feel like Oliveira is one of my favorite fighters. I love him more than anything. So I feel I was definitely betting on Oliveira going on that side. But obviously, Dustin's a dog going into that fight. Like you can't count him out no matter what. So I was surprised to see the finish, but to see Oliveira come out on top, that's what I expected.
So you mentioned celebrating that night. So did you go out after, or what did you do? Go back to the hotel? What was the post-fight festivities? What did you get up to?
Yeah, we just went out a little bit. Me, Hannah Goldie, and Cheyenne Blissmas.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Because, yeah, you and Hannah are like BFFs. I see you guys all over social media, which is cool because you guys train together too, right?
Yeah, we actually had our first pro fight against each other.
I remember. Yeah. It's cool. It's cool how that all works out, huh? With all you guys sort of linking up, right? And Cheyenne's from Florida originally too, right? Is that how you guys all know each other?
Yeah, Cheyenne was my last amateur fight, and then Hannah was my first pro fight. And so it is kind of all know each other. I'm like, I've shared the cage with both of them. But yeah, I love them both more than anything. Hannah flew out there just for me to come out and watch my fight. So
nice.
Definitely one of my best friends.
That's great. Now, obvious question now, when are you looking to get back in there? I know this is a fresh win, but do you have an idea of when you'd like to have your next fight?
Tomorrow.
We'll see if any flyweights drop out between now and Saturday. Actually, I don't know if there's any on this card this weekend. Is there? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. But like, honestly, I don't even feel like I fought. My body is 100% right now. I feel like I almost feel like I didn't get like that itch. Like I wanted to fight so bad, and I felt like it was too quick. I got in and out too fast. So it's like I want to get back in there and really want to get that fight.
Interesting. Okay. And what's been the feedback like from, I don't know, your management or the UFC? Like they must have been impressed with you going out there and getting it done in the first round.
Yeah, I guess I don't really have a manager at the moment. Dean Thomas is my manager, my coach.
Oh, is he really? Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so he's the only one I work with, but he's definitely proud of me, and we're just, I guess, we're always looking forward. After a win or a loss, it doesn't matter. I don't dwell on it. We're not. I feel like I'm already over the win. I'm already past that, and we're just looking forward at this moment.
Interesting. Without digging in too deep here, how long have you not had a manager? Like I know Dean's obviously managing it. We're actually seeing more of that with coaches sort of being the management. It cuts out the middleman. But how many fights has it been since you haven't had your previous management group?
It's been about, I want to say, a year or two, maybe.
Has it really? Oh, I've been in the dark then. Okay, well, there you go. This is why I got to ask these things because I wasn't sure. Because it must be nice too. You don't have to worry about the percentage either, right?
Yeah, and it's like with my coach, Dean, he's so close with the UFC, so it's like he has such a good relationship with them anyway, so it's like he's always talking with them, so it almost made more sense for me not to have a manager.
Yeah, that's been great. Any opponents in mind for your next fight? I know you're not someone to call anyone out, but is there like a fun matchup you look at in the flyweight division that you think would be a cool fight?
No one necessarily, I guess, specifically. I'm just looking to get back in there and be able to get my hand raised again.
I'll throw a name out here. And again, this is me asking, not you. Would you want a rematch against Macy Barber? I think that was a fight that some people felt like might have been stopped a little early. Macy's coming off a loss and you're coming off a win, but is that one you'd like to get back someday?
And any of my losses, I definitely want to get back someday. I definitely want to rematch someday. But all these younger girls, I feel like that might be when it might be too soon. I feel like we're going to see each other like all through the years, no matter what. So I don't know if it might be too soon for a rematch with her, just because I know I'm going to rematch her eventually. Like we're going to be me, Macy, Miranda, all of these younger, Erin Blanchfield, Casey O'Neill, we're gonna see each other again, like top 5, top 10 within the next couple of years, no matter what.
Okay, that makes sense. Tell me what your dog's reaction was when you got home, because I know you were away for fight week. Like, how cool is that coming home and getting all the love from your pup?
Oh, that's really what means the world to me. I'm like, he's my baby. My brother was sending me pictures after the fight. Like, he's so proud of mom. I'm like, that's what warms my heart, is just seeing his face.
Yeah, that's great. So you're going to the beach today with the dog? Is that the plan?
He's not much of a water boy.
Oh no, he doesn't come out. Interesting. Okay.
I'll bring him out sometimes, but he likes to come hang out on the sand a little bit. If I drive the dog beach is about an hour away, so it's a bit of a drive. But if I drive all the way to the dog beach, he likes coming saying hi to the other dogs. But the waves aren't his thing, and like he'll get about like this deep in the water, and then he's good. Just go ankle deep, we're good.
Okay, fair enough. And what are the plans for the holiday season? I'm sure stay in Florida. Are you doing anything? What are you getting up to?
I am staying in Florida. I have no idea. Probably just spending time with family. I haven't even thought about like Christmas, anything like that until these last couple days. I'm like, I've just been so swarmed with about this fight, just thinking about this fight, anxiety, stress, everything around it. And then after the fight was over, I was like, Christmas is in a couple days. Okay, now we have to start shopping for presents, doing everything. So I feel like that's the thing that's hitting me right now.
Yeah, you got to get in go mode. I'm the same way. Kind of leave it to the last minute. I could be wrong here. I think you might be one of the few Canadian women left in the UFC, right? Randa Marcos got released. Felicia retired. I know Lupi's Mexican Canadian, but were you aware of that? Like, I think like you're one of the few left, unless I'm missing someone. And apologies if I am.
I was not really aware of that. I guess I haven't really thought about that, but I saw on one post they're like, "Oh, I think you're one of the most notable Canadians in the UFC currently," and like just thinking of me as that, I'm like, it makes me very proud. I'm like, that's very like. I guess I don't even think about myself in that way, but that's amazing for me.
Do you still keep in? Do you have family back in Canada still? I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, my grandparents still currently live in Canada.
And how are they doing? Because I'm sure you haven't been able to see them with the COVID restrictions and everything, right?
Yeah, it's definitely rough for them, especially like my brother just has a newborn baby, so it's like that's their grandchild. So it's definitely rough that they haven't been able to get down just with all the COVID and COVID restrictions and things like that. And so yeah, it definitely makes it rough just with all the restrictions.
And the rest of your family's in Florida, like you said, your brother was looking after your dog, right?
Yeah, my brother and my parents both live down in Florida currently.
Oh, that's good. So at least you got all the family there for the holidays, right? Because I know that's important. You know, I know fighting's the focus, but these are the times when you can kind of spend time with family, right? So
yeah, I got all the immediate family there.
Okay, last question, most important one in this interview. What's your favorite Christmas movie? Is there a favorite for you that you watch every year?
I think the go-to is Elf.
Great choice. Great choice. You can't go wrong with Elf. I'm more old school. I'm like a Home Alone guy personally, but you know, I definitely respect the Elf pick, and definitely got to respect that win, Gillian. Congratulations. Anyone you want to thank? Any sponsors? Any social media? I'll give you the last word.
Obviously, my two corners, Dean Thomas and David Evans, and my sponsors, the Chicken Pound and Dr. Dabber. If you want to follow me at Savage_UFC on Twitter and Instagram, and hopefully watch me and get my hand raised again soon. I'm hoping to get back in there.